has had the greatest influence on your life? Some of you may immediately think of a teacher or a coach. But what about your own mother? Throughout my life, I've observed many mothers and how they raise their kids. I've gotten to know many of my friends' mothers and mothers on TV, movies, or in books. Though they show plenty of love and compassion for their children, it's my mother's love as well as her hard-working and optimistic attitude that make her special to me. Certainly all of our mothers have a special place in our minds and in our hearts. Today I'd like to pay a tribute to mine, Linda Wigren. My mother throughout her life has displayed a great deal of love and optimism. She's also an extremely hard worker. She shows these traits throughout her professional and personal lives. One of the things that is vital for a child's well-being is love. Throughout my childhood, my mother has supplied plenty of that. Both my sister and I have never experienced anything less. As a small child, I would sometimes have trouble going to sleep. Every night, my mother would lie down beside me and read me a story or just talk with me until I fell asleep. This made me feel important to her, as she would be giving up her free time, nightfall being the only real free time a mother of a small child can get, to make my sister and me happy. When I was very young, up until today, my mother will sometimes make my sister and me hot chocolate after school. Sometimes she'll do this right in the middle of work. As she makes us hot chocolate, she'll tell us about her day and ask about ours. Again, she gives up her work time so she can spend time with me and my sister. Sometimes I'm feeling down about myself. We all know what it's like to feel like you aren't good enough. My mother always knows how to fix that feeling. She'll tell me all sorts of wonderful things about me and how no one's perfect. She'd say I'm special or that she's proud of me for doing well at school, or just tell me I look nice if she could tell that I don't think so. These compliments always make me feel loved. As every family is, our family is frugal, and we're always trying to save money. Money's tighter than ever during Christmas. This year, my sister wanted lots of really expensive gifts. My mother had her number them in order from which one she wanted most to which one she wanted less. Her top two were a guitar and an iTouch. My parents were considering only getting her one of these items. However, on Christmas morning, we were all very surprised to see that she had gotten both. To me, you have to truly love someone to spend a ton of money at a time where money is scarce on that person. I also received lots of great gifts from my mother this year that showed that she really put a lot of thought into what she'd get me that I'd really enjoy. Someday, I hope to make my children as happy as she makes me. One of the many great qualities about my mother is her optimism. She always has a big smile on her face. With high school quickly approaching, I found myself to be very nervous at times. There will be lots more homework, more people, and all around bigger school. However, when we talk about it, my mother never mentions the scary things. She always tells me that I'll enjoy it and that there will be lots of opportunities for me to get involved, find something I like to do, sports, clubs, etc., and meet people. When I think of those things, I have a more positive attitude towards high school. I was in the play last year and in 7th grade. This year I tried out and I didn't get a part. I was really upset for days. I convinced myself not to apply for stage crew or do drama next year. However, it was my mother's reassuring words that made me reconsider. She told me that everyone thought I did really well last year and that I should definitely try out next year. And so that's what I'm planning to do. One of our family's main goals is to save up for a Cape House. While some of us are wondering if it'll ever happen, my mother is already looking at houses when she can. When we are doubtful, she always says, "We will get a house on the Cape." No maybes or probablys. It takes a really positive outlook to not have any doubts that if you work hard, you'll get what you want. My mother is an extremely hard worker. Of all the reasons why she inspires me, this is the biggest. When I get sick, I might stay home from school and rest. As long as I've lived, my mother almost never takes sick days. She toughens up and does her work in any way, often working extra hard. She always says that the more time she uses resting when she's sick, the more she has to make up. My mother takes the time to get involved in everything my sister and me do. She's in both our school's parent advisory councils and raises money for a lot of our activities. One year, she was the cookie mom for my little sister's Girl Scout troop. There were boxes of cookies all over the house that night in March. It was really stressful, and when my father asked her why she volunteers for so many stressful jobs, she replied, "Because no one else will." All of this pays off as she's made plenty of friends throughout the years. My mother absolutely loves houses and decided a few years ago that she wanted to become a real estate agent. To do this, she had to take a class and get a license. The only class available to her was the one she'd have to take during our weekend on the Cape. My mother absolutely loves the beach, and it was hard for her to decide not to go with us. We missed her that weekend, but it paid off because now she's succeeding in a career she really enjoys. My mother has certainly proved that hard work pays off, and someday I hope to be as hardworking as she is. I'm sure everyone has great things to say about our mothers. This tribute is a way of saying these wonderful things to mine. I hope you see why my mother is such an important figure in my life. And Mom, I hope that you see this and realize what a great mother I think you are.